love the hydronium. People always call me, and usually the conversation goes something like this. Well, I have this friend, and they were asking about whatever it is to do with their health journey, or could be how they view it, their health problem. And one recent question revolved around having diabetes. And I said to the person that I was talking to on the phone, I got to do a video on that one thing that we talked about. And I've already promised this video, so here it is. This is the 2-hour insulin rule. It's just a quickie. I'll try to make it quick anyway. Well, it is really quick. It's very simple. And if you can remember this one thing about insulin, then you're going to be so much farther ahead with your eating habits that you'll blow everybody away with how quickly you can change your body and your body composition. And at the root of it all, your actual core cellular function. So, insulin being the most potent hormone in your body, that without it, we would not even be able to produce cellular energy with our little symbiotic co-hosts in our cells, the eukaryotes that we know as mitochondria, that have been around, they estimate, probably like 18 billion years or something like that, which is as long as, again, insulin's been around. Way longer than we have anyway, in our current form. So, without insulin, we would die. And you can ask a diabetic about that. They know that very intimately. So, whenever you ingest a food substance that has any stimulatory effect on your pancreas to release insulin, that insulin goes into your blood and it will remain there for 2 hours. So that's the 2-hour insulin rule. So if you remember that, and that while it may be healthy to eat an apple by itself, because it's very low in caloric density, and it doesn't have a very high glycemic load. So there's a difference between glycemic load and glycemic index. Glycemic index is a measure of how quickly your blood sugar will spike and then drop. And glycemic load is how much insulin each individual's pancreas will release from the same amount of glucose. So how much insulin is getting released, total volume. And it doesn't matter whether it happens over 5 minutes or 10 or whatever. So glycemic index aside, it's going to be a specific amount in each individual based on your body's ability to properly utilize insulin. That's cell signaling, the base of it. So this is where if you eat an apple by itself, it's okay, no problem. But anywhere within the next 2 hours, if you have something that's calorically dense and has fat in it, fat's not bad. Calories only are bad, or fat will become a problem if there's insulin present in your blood. Because if there's insulin present in your blood, then preferentially it will get driven into your cells, along with protein, carbohydrate, protein, carbs, fat. If there's insulin in your blood, they're all going to preferentially get driven into your cells if you're not using the fuel like right away. And to do that, you'd have to be wearing like a heart rate monitor and be going at like a specific heart rate, part of your VO2 max or whatever you want to call it. It's way too complicated. Like you'd have to be running at like jogging at a specific pace to immediately use glucose as you're ingesting it. That's not, because there's only one. It's called your glycolytic oxidative cycle, or that's the process, the glycolytic oxidative process. And you got to be going at, I don't know the exact numbers anymore because I haven't looked at my books for a long time, and I don't need to remember that stuff. After a while, you don't need to. You just got to know what you know and know those facts, and that's all you need to know. So you're never just burning glucose as you drink it. It just doesn't work that way. It is first stored and then it was released. And I forget where I read that too. I think it was Living the Low Carb Life by Dr. Johnny Bowden, but I'll have to fact check myself on that. But there's a lot of stuff that I tell people that they'd be like, oh, show me a study. And I'd be like, I've read so many, I don't even remember them all. It's impossible. But that's what Google and all this wonderful stuff's for. So if I really need to back up what I'm saying, I could do all the research over again and show it to you. But from practical experience, all you got to do is put it into practice. So try this practice. Don't eat any carbohydrates with fatty foods or that have a high caloric value. If you've eaten any type of carbohydrate within the previous 2 hours. So whatever you eat, wait for 2 hours first, and then don't have a carbohydrate food combined with the fatty or protein food. Just try this experiment for like 10 days. And I will guarantee you will start seeing changes in your body if you really do it. There's a neat little app you can use that, again, I mentioned this guy in my last video, Dr. Dunham. And he runs a life extension clinic and hormone replacement clinic in Palm Springs, California. And he wrote a book called The Low Glycal Diet. And he produced a free app that has, it's a lot of downloads now because it works. And it's not a food logging app per se. You can log your food with it if you get the pro version. But the free one is all you need. Because with the free one, you can type in, say, 3 different foods that are in your planned meal. And it will tell you which one is going to cause you to store fat. It will go red. It'll either be green, orange, or red. And then you can adjust the level of that and you can see how if you actually reduce the amount of that thing. So say you had 1 apple and you had it with a chicken salad with Caesar dressing on it, right? The salad and the dressing will not be red, but it will show you that the apple is. And then if you decrease the amount of apples, so say you got it down to like a quarter of the apple, all of a sudden the whole meal's okay. But you have to find that level. So again, that's a 2-hour insulin rule. Do not eat insulinogenic food items with other food items that are high calorie, either from fat or protein. Doesn't matter which, or both. Separate all that stuff by 2 hours and you will start seeing some amazing changes in your body at the very least. Okay, so that's the 2-hour insulin rule. And thanks for your time and watching. And yeah, hopefully you can pass this on to somebody else too, especially if they're diabetic, because there's a lot of information out there that diabetics are given through the normal channels that is actually stopping them from becoming non-diabetic and normal, which is happening all over the world now. There's so many recorded instances of it now that it's irrefutable. So there don't need to be studies. These are real human personal studies. And I guess that's called empirical data. And when the preponderance of evidence grows to a certain extent, it can only be known as truth. So with that, have an awesome day. Don't forget, start your day off with about 125 mils of pure fresh water all by itself. Room temperature, so it gets into your system quick and hydrates your brain. So without your brain, the ability to think, not any different than my friend over there drinking water out of the bowl. Have a great day.